Yo, what is up guys, FaZe here and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And today I'm going to be going over the Type 71, a tier 10 tech tree Japanese heavy tank that is pretty strong in today's update. In update 10.3 it got a bunch of different changes, so I have done a review on this vehicle before, but as per usual for these update 10.3 vehicles, I am going to do an updated review on this vehicle, letting you know how good this vehicle is in the latest update, and if I suggest you guys to go ahead and grind for it. I'll also be going over the armor of this vehicle to demonstrate exactly how you can possibly pen this vehicle and also how you can angle it to the best of its ability. With that being said, let's head into what was actually changed on the vehicle. Okay, so having a look at what was changed on the Type 71, as you can see it's right here, a lot of the people actually did say that they enjoyed the update that the vehicle got, and that update that this vehicle got was premium shell type was assigned to AP, which, if you didn't know, premium AP rounds are the best rounds in the game, which just makes this vehicle a lot more reliable at penning shots because it has a higher and more effective efficiency at penning steeper angles, as well as the average damage per shot expanded by 20 alpha, which means instead of being a 400 alpha gun, it became a 420 alpha gun, somewhat what you have on the IS-4. The reload time was increased, however, by 0.38 seconds, and the aiming time got 0.1 seconds longer, which, if you take both of those into account, that 20 extra alpha for a 0.38 second reload, yeah, that's pretty worth it, to be honest. For that increase in alpha, it's actually not bad, and that 0.1. Alright guys, having a look at the armor on this vehicle, this is the Type 71 being shot at by the T110E4. However, the tank's armor wasn't really changed in the previous update. Like I mentioned, all the stats that were changed, nothing about the armor was actually changed in the latest updates. And on flat against a very high pen tank destroyer, you're not really going to be penned. Yeah, there are these little weak spots in the turret here which can possibly be penned, but those are extremely small and you're not really going to hit those reliably. The tank, however, does have a massive hatch on the roof, which is one of the main weaknesses of this vehicle. However, if you side scrape using the right or left side of the vehicle, it means that you can hide away that hatch and do away at side scraping without getting shot in vicinity over here. You can still pen this little weak spot over here. As you can see, the frontal armor of this vehicle, even against a tank destroyer, yeah, they're not really going to pen through if they are using their standard rounds and not using calibrated shells. So let's actually see what the T110E4 looks like with the standard rounds against the Type 71 using calibrated shells. And as you can see, it's still extremely red, and that is what the Type 71 does so well. If you face targets directly on, you're a lot easier to pen them. However, with the Type 71, if you're still wiggling, you can easily make this upper plate upwards of 300 millimeters thick, and that means any AP rounds are basically impervious to this upper plate. However, when the tank does fall apart is when the vehicle loads up heat, and as you can see, a T110E4, yes, it's a tank destroyer, but when running heat, this tank becomes an absolute butter shield. As you can see, the entire turret can be penned, as well as the upper plate, and even these side glacius plates over here, all can be penned no problem. If you are side scraping, you are exposing this plate over here, which people can pen no problem. So always just try to show them the rear end and not this frontal plate that is angled over here. Okay, now let's head into the equipment that I run on this vehicle. It's pretty straightforward to what I was running in my last review. However, I'll go over it and reiterate what I'm running. So basically on the first round I'm running gun rammer just to increase that DPM that the vehicle has, and mind you, the DPM was decreased a little bit, but it was increased by a bit of alpha, so I do still suggest you to run the gun rammer. However, you can run calibrated shells. One thing I will say you should definitely run is enhanced gun laying drive mixed with vertical stabilizer on the move, because this vehicle is so mobile that will just increase your accuracy by a hell of a lot. On the second row I'm running improved modules, enhanced armor, and enhanced tracks. On the third and last row I'm running improved suspension instead of the improved vertical stabilizer. I highly suggest you guys, if you're going to run the Type 71 and its predecessors in the tech tree, I will always suggest you to run that improved suspension, because it just makes this vehicle extremely mobile and very versatile in comparison to just running that extra gun depression, which, mind you, is very nice, but this tank is not really suited to be a held down tank, and I would suggest you to actually more run that improved suspension so you can get to the position sooner. I am then running engine accelerator and high-end consumables. Provisions and consumables wise, nothing was really changed, so just pause the video and see what I'm running there. Those are the standard, and you should definitely suggest running them like that. With that being said, let's head into a live battle in the Type 71. Guys, heading on to our first game here on Ghost Factory, and in the Type 71, this is not the worst map I could have possibly gotten. Mind you, I did tell you guys that I am running improved suspension instead of that improved gears, so that I don't have that increased gun depression. However, I do have that good mobility now. So yeah, the Type 71, it's a vehicle that has been strong since the day it came out. When it came out, it was absolutely broken, and Wargaming ended up nerfing the vehicle, but even though they nerfed it, it was always still strong. The tank has never been a weak vehicle, and that is why I think even in this update, it is still a decent, viable option, and we're gonna just have to see how it performs in this battle to completely back up my thought there. So here, currently, my entire team is going left, and I possibly should have gone with them. I haven't really been paying attention here, but it looks like my bad chat ends up taking a bit of damage here, and I'm going to actually try to run away since I don't know where the enemy team is. They could be at the heavy side, but at this point I'm not sure where they are. I do get spotted by the SDB, I'm guaranteeing it. Yeah, that is definitely the case. So I'm going to use that. Because I'm running improved suspension, I am able to go really fast here, even on bad terrain, to get out of this situation. As you can see, my Sheridan just YOLO'd and completely ruined his entire vehicle in the first minute of this battle. I'm not sure what's up with players when I play the Type 71, but they are so much worse than players that play than the players I usually play with in other battles. So yeah, in the first minutes of this game, guys, I have lost two very crucial tanks on my team. Both my light tanks are dead in the first few minutes of this battle, and I'm hoping I don't get caught out by the enemy team here. This is going to be a very slow game, but we are up on caps, so maybe we can use that to our advantage to maybe win this battle. 3 caps is a great milestone for my team. It means that we do have that cap advantage. However, if I ended up dying here because my team doesn't stop pushing, I'm going to be very upset. Hopefully we can get a shot into this E5 over here maybe, or this Concept 1B, but I do end up missing it, unfortunately. I was a bit too pushed up there to kind of counter him, so hopefully I can counter him now while he tries pushing the rears of my teammates. 444 damage, and that is something you wouldn't really see from the previous Type 71, but because it has an alpha buff, it means that you can do a lot more damage with your shells. I'm going to push up here to kind of deal with this Type 71 or this Concept 1B, I should say, if I can. I'm going to wiggle so that I'm the strongest that I possibly can be. And as you can see, my team is getting absolutely ruined right now, unfortunately. Hopefully we can get another bounce. He does end up missing me here, which is very nice. And there goes my 183. Another vehicle on my team, absolutely gone and dusted. But I do hope that we can still do the damage here. We get another bounce from this Concept 1B, and maybe possibly we can do some more damage here. And yeah, there goes my entire team, guys. In the first 3 minutes of this battle, we have lost everybody, and that just shows you how the teammates are currently in this game. We are going to lose this, unfortunately, but hopefully we can kind of show off a bit more of the armor here and maybe bounce this E100, for example, but that does not end up happening here. And it looks like we do end up bouncing the side of that E100 somehow. We did end up hitting him on his weak spots, so I'm not sure what the hell happened there. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have not had a single good team in the Type 71 so far, unfortunately. I have just been getting awful teams that die in the first few minutes of the battle, so I am just going to leave it there for now. But don't think that the Type 71 is not a vehicle to be afraid of. This tank is extremely strong if used correctly. Do I think it's the strongest heavy tank out there? Definitely not. It has its own method of playing on the battlefield, which is that mobile heavy tank, somewhat like the IS-7, but there other tanks like the IS-7 and IS-4 are definitely a better bet than the Type 71 in my opinion. The Type 71, very troll tank, but the armor doesn't really work all the time, the gun is not the most accurate, and the DPM on the vehicle is definitely nothing to write home about. The mobility is the only thing I can really speak up about. It's the only thing that I would say is pretty decent on this vehicle. The armor can be extremely strong to equal tier tanks, like heavy tanks especially. However, as soon as they run their premium rounds, this tank just falls apart extremely quickly. The gun also doesn't have the pop or oomph that I wish it would have. Maybe if Wargaming made them like the PC Japanese heavies, which have a load of alpha, maybe this vehicle would have been more of a good fit in the game. But currently it just feels like a knock-off IS-7 and IS-4 vehicle. Let me know what you guys think of the Type 71, however, and if you think that this vehicle is still strong till this day. It definitely is a strong vehicle, but not the greatest out there compared to the other competitors that they are. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. Hope your shells hit their marks, and I'll check you in the next one. Cheers.